What up, nerds? How y'all doing? I hope you all are doing lovely this evening. I know I am. For those of you who are regulars here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Much love to you. How are you doing? I hope your day has been good so far. Your day, morning, afternoon, evening, night. I hope that you're feeling loved. I hope that you're feeling supported. I hope that before watching this video, you were doing something that brought you joy, that helped you connect with your inner child, because I think that that's incredibly important. I also wish those things for those of you who are new here, because I have 2 more subscribers, I think I saw. So welcome. Welcome to the show. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Yasha. I also go by Taylor the Penguin, and I do these videos every night. I've been doing them every night for a while now, where I yap about my life and my spiritual journey and my special interests and other various things, and I just kind of genuinely have a good time being here, kind of creating this little community, though I'm not sure what type of community this is, if I'm being honest with you. Not entirely sure. I'm getting people from various walks of life, so I think that's all I'm going to put on for now, because today was a really good day. So for those of you who don't know, February is my birthday month, and so usually what I used to do is I would just celebrate, the day of my birthday and call it George, but I've really gotten into appreciating birthdays a bit more. I used to be very irritated with the people who were like, oh, I'm gonna celebrate my birthday all fucking month, or it's my birthday week. I couldn't stand those people. I was like, y'all are so extra, just celebrate on the day and shut up. 2 minutes and 23 seconds as I say that. But as I have gotten older, I've realized that it is something worth celebrating. So you should celebrate the entire month. Why not? Why not? Why not take the opportunity to celebrate your birthday month? Like, I was telling my sister this the other day, I'm always looking for an excuse to party. The next time I get married, I don't know how I'm going to do the ceremony and all that, because, since I'm on this soulmate journey, I have been rethinking about, almost forgot. Ooh, to show my little crystal mobile that I always show. I like to show these at the beginning of my videos. But, yeah, since I'm on this whole soulmate journey thing, I have been thinking about what I want to do for my wedding, which will be my second, but hopefully my last, to my soulmate. And I don't know how I'm going to do the ceremony, but I know the reception, it's going to be a party. 3 minutes and 33 seconds. We're all about getting lit here. Did you have water today? If you did not, now is the time. Go get some water, and let's drink some water together. It's so good. Excuse me. Once again, we are on borrowed time because I did take some nighttime medication so that my nasal passages will be clear so I can fucking sleep. It is currently 2:02 a.m., which is a mirror number. For those of you that don't know and are new here, mirror numbers are 101, 202, 303, 404, and they typically mean various things. To me, 202 means duality, balance, partnerships, companionship. So whenever I see 212 or 202, I get all giddy. But yeah, so I tend to, I'm always looking for an excuse to celebrate these days, because why not, romanticize your life. And so for my birthday month this month, I am 32 this month. So I'm claiming it. I'm gonna go ahead and claim it. I am 32 this month. And I wanted to show you guys some of the things that I got from some friends of mine and my sisters who are just some of the sweetest women I have ever met, and I absolutely adore them, and they're just so kind and so loving and so beautiful and perfect in every single way. But I wanted to like show you guys the stuff that I got, but I also wanted to talk a little bit. It's weird, so for those of you that this is the first video of mine that you're seeing, I do these videos unscripted. I was moved to start doing them a little over a month ago. I don't know how long it's been, and I just come in here and I yap about my life. And sometimes I give advice, sometimes I get like spiritual downloads and things that I share with you guys. But for the most part, I'm just in here yapping and sharing my journey with people who maybe want to be a part or who are maybe on similar journeys. And so something that I thought about that I am going to talk about is what it feels like to be starting over at 32. Because this is actually very significant, I feel like, for maybe some people watching my videos who have just crested into their 30s or are about to go into their 30s, and you know, maybe things aren't going exactly the way you thought they were going to go when you were like 18, 19. So I figured I would talk a little bit about that as I showed you guys some of the things that I was given, that I was gifted, and maybe connect some of it, you know, with it feels interesting to be now starting my 33rd year of life, because at least, you know, I turned 1 after living a year. So it's funny because I was always like, oh, I'm like 23, 24, 25 or whatever. Excuse me. But then my grandmother was like, well, actually remember, you are starting the next year. So I'm actually living my 33rd year now. So if you turned 22, you're actually now living your 23rd year, you know, 7 minutes and 17 seconds as I say that. So maybe somebody is turning 22. If you are turning 22, congratulations. Happy birthday. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When I was 16, I thought that the world was ending, because I was like, you know, I'm 16 years old and I've never had a boyfriend. I hadn't had a boyfriend before 16. I was 16 years old and I hadn't traveled to all the places I wanted to travel to. I was 16 years old and I was not getting the type of like romantic play that I wanted. You know, I wasn't experiencing that soulmate connection with anybody. I was 16 and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I still felt like I was 13. Like 16, I really did not feel like I had anything together. Yet I had friends who were 16, 17, 18 who were getting their lives together, and I felt so behind the curve. And I did not expect to turn 21 when I did. I was like, oh, I'm still here. And then at that point, it was the same thing. I was in a relationship, but I was aware that I didn't have like that soulmate connection. And I was like, is that childish? Is that a fantasy? You know, I don't have that, you know. But at that point, I had more friends. I had, you know, people in college who I hung out with, and at that time, I was grateful for a lot of stuff, but I also was hiding vulnerability moment, and this may be a little heavy, but at the age of 21, I very quickly realized that I had some inner demons that I was struggling to contend with, and it was hard just existing every day. And when I turned 25, I don't really remember where I was at 25, but I had an alcohol problem. And I was still battling with not wanting to be here. And I was just struggling with not knowing what I wanted to do in life. I don't think at any point in my life I have been confident in what I've wanted to do for a consistent amount of time. It's not happened. Or at least it hadn't happened. And I constantly had doubts. 10 minutes and 23 seconds as I say this. For those of you that don't know, 23 is one of my lucky numbers. And I felt so lost a good chunk of my life. So lost. For a long time, I thought I wanted to be like a performer. Like I wanted to sing, I wanted to act, I wanted to, maybe do some Broadway stuff, maybe, do some acting in movies, like action movies and fantasy movies is kind of what I wanted to do for a while there. And so I was studying and I was in theater and stuff in college. And I really wanted to like be a big star, and just as I lived, as I got older, as I was in my last very long-term relationship, 11 minutes and 11 seconds as I say that, so maybe somebody is currently in a long-term relationship or is about to be in a long-term relationship. Very excited, because for me 1111 represents a door. It's like doors opening up for you, because that's kind of what 1111 looks like to me. But I was in a long-term relationship and I was feeling happier than I had because I had a companion. I had somebody who I could talk to and who kind of understood where I was coming from, and we had some similar interests, and it was just nice to not, be at home, where things had a habit of being unexpected and uncontrollable and at times volatile. And I still felt lost. Like when I wanted to entertain, that was my North Star. I still didn't feel happy about it. I worked 9 to 5, moved up, from the South up to Boston and worked a 9 to 5, and was like, okay, so now we have new goals. We're about to be, big CEO, we're gonna get a 6-figure income and stuff, so we never have to worry about finding, having money. And I started developing I want the kids, I want the house with the white picket fence, I want the dog. Like I saw what other people were doing and I was like, yeah, I want that. And the drinking problem was as bad as it had ever been when I was in Boston. And at that point, I had to be like 27, 28, I think. And I started to realize that my relationship, which, was a marriage, was not firing on all pistons. I went into that relationship assuming it was going to be a certain way, and both myself and my ex did not realize what it was going to be like, what it was actually going to be like, what the union of two people actually looks like on a day-to-day basis. The boring parts, the parts where it is hard, the parts where you do have to, the parts where the person that you're with is not perfect. And knowing that they're not perfect and knowing that you're not perfect, you still want to work together to make it work, And realizing that we were not the two that we were not compatible in that way. And that realization happened at around 29 years of age. And so turning 30, and now I'm 32, I thought that my life was over. I thought that was it. I was like, you really hardly did anything. You hardly did anything. And you couldn't even stay in a marriage. All of these ambitions that all of the ambitions that I had, all of the planning that I did, all the stuff that I tried to do in order to run from those dark thoughts, or to run from the feeling of uselessness, to run from the feeling of not amounting to anything, I couldn't run fast enough. because when I turned 30 and my marriage fell through, I was like, that's it. That's it. I've failed. I failed as a woman. I failed as the oldest child of 4. I have failed as a black woman. I have failed as a role model to certain friends of mine. Just in so many areas, I felt like I had just shit the bed, if you will. And then I really started focusing on me. I felt so lost. For a whole year, I spent so much time crying, so much time miserable. And I was like, what do you want from me? Like, I was so upset. And I was so sad. But then in the midst of my grief, in the midst of my grief, my youngest sister was there to sit with me when I was upset, and she'd just sit there. She'd just sit with me. Not try to give me advice, not try to tell me what I needed to do, but she would just sit with me while I just sat there, not knowing what to do. And it took a while to wake up and be used to waking up, like, without the other person there sleeping next to me, and being able to go in. Well, it didn't take a whole lot of time to get used to that, because before my marriage ended, I was sleeping in my own room. So that kind of separation had already started and had been happening for a while. But I just kind of was living in a limbo space for what felt like a long time. I was just in limbo. I was like, I don't even know what to do. Like, at 16, when I turned 16, I was like, oh my God, I have my whole life ahead of me. 17 minutes and 17 seconds as I say this, even though I was like, well, I haven't really achieved things my friends have achieved, I knew that I still had time ahead of me. When I turned 25, I didn't expect it. I was like, wait. Or when I turned 21, I didn't expect it. I was like, wait, no, this keeps going? And my dad was like, yeah, aging it continues. And then I turned 25, and I was like, holy shit, I thought that I knew what I wanted. I thought that I had a plan in place. I thought that I was going to be able to be happy. And then to be 30, and all of the confusion, all of the feeling lost, and the very brittle foundation that I felt like I built just completely blew away in the wind. And all of the TV shows and cartoons that I watched, the main characters were all high schoolers. So then by the time I turned 30, all of the shows that I enjoyed, I was no longer the main character. I was somebody's older sister. I was the babysitter. I was the parent. Like, that's the role I started seeing. And I was like, this fucking sucks. 18 minutes and 18 seconds as I say that. But what's weird is starting October of 2024 to now, I genuinely feel the phrase, not all who wander are lost. Because I don't feel lost. I still don't know exactly what I'm doing. I have an inkling. I have kind of a general idea. And I'm so much more excited about the things I'm doing now than I was ever excited about things I did before. And every birthday that I've had, from memory, has been a birthday that I appreciated what people did. I definitely appreciated it. But I don't have birthdays that stick out in my mind as being done in a way that spoke to my soul. I come from a family of entertainers, so our birthdays were always big deals when we were younger. You invite a lot of people over, and then as I got older, and, once I moved out, as an adult, you don't typically have people that throw parties for you, unless you have a friend who just loves throwing parties. And so I've just gotten to the point where whenever people are like, what do you want to do for your birthday? I'm like, I don't know. I honestly don't know, because I don't want anybody to feel like they have to go out of the way for me. I feel like some of you feel this experience, where you're just kind of like, it just, it's whatever. So this year, I didn't expect a lot to happen. And then my sister was like, yeah, so everybody's able to get together, you know, this particular weekend. So how do you feel about us celebrating you on this particular weekend? And I was like, you want to do what? And she's like, yeah, we've got a little plan in place. And I was like, okay, so what's the plan? And my sister told me, the plan is we're going to go over to our friend Kristen's house, her apartment. She's awesome and she's dope and she's amazing. And she's like, we're going to go over there and we're going to either play video games or watch some TV shows or, and then we're going to watch one of your favorite movies and then we're going to order pho. And I looked at her and I was like, that's it? And she was like, yeah, we're just going to relax. Everybody's going to be like dressed down like in, relaxed clothes. If you want to take your PJs, your most comfortable clothes you can. And I cried when I thought about it later, and I'm getting emotional now. Because I've never had a birthday celebration done for me where a person looked past all of the typical, this is what's typically done for people's birthdays, and looked at me and saw me and said, no. What is something that she would want to do on her birthday? I spent a lot of time, probably like a lot of you watching this video, or you watching this video, masking and pretending to be somebody that, I haven't really been. And so I'm finding that now, the reason why since October of 2024, I just feel so much better because I've been far more authentic with when I'm not feeling good. With when I'm like, oh, cool, that's awesome, but I don't go way off the deep end to celebrate other people the way I used to. There's nothing wrong with being excited, but if that's not authentic to you, why would you pretend to be that way? 22 minutes and 22 seconds as I say this. And I feel like a lot of it is guilt. We have been taught so often that you have to appear a certain way. You are obligated to act a certain way when you're dealing with people, when you're showing up in the world. But this is part of the reason I would go home all the time, or at a party, I'd be laughing, having a good time, and I'd go in the bathroom and be in there holding the sink, staring in the mirror like, bro, get it together. Your you just got here 10 minutes ago and your social battery's already done. You cannot do this. All of these people came here for you. All of these people are here to celebrate you. You've got to go out there. You've got to put a smile on your face. And that's how most of my celebrations have been. They've been me kind of in a position where I felt like I had to entertain. And to have somebody see me so deeply, 23 minutes as I'm saying this, was amazing. Again, I'm so grateful for every party that's been thrown for me, for every gift that's been given to me, because people never had to do a damn thing. They never had to do a damn thing. And with that being said, today was my favorite celebration ever. I was comfortable. I was able to wear my PJs. I was able to be comfortable. I was able to be in a situation where I could laze around. We had cake. I was able to have, a vodka cranberry beverage, and I was able to chill out with cool girls, cool girlies. And I got some amazing gifts that I'm really excited about. I actually got this bracelet. It's so pretty. It's a crystal bracelet, and this one in particular deals with clarity. Ooh. What was it? It was clarity and empowerment, I believe. So that's this one. And that one goes on this hand. And then I was also gifted this bracelet, which deals with balance and energizing. And it's so pretty. So I got these as birthday gifts. And then I also also got a keychain that I have to show you guys at some point. But I also got, I've said in many videos that I don't do tarot card readings for other people. And I do have a oracle deck that I use personally for myself. And that one I am not to use on camera, but I was gifted a deck, an oracle deck of cards. And I wanted to show you guys some of the artwork on these cards. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Ew. Try to get it without the glare, but I don't know if I can. Maybe that way? Oh, yeah, maybe that'll do it. Isn't that pretty? Like, the artwork is super pretty. I love it. And I had been wanting another deck because I like to use decks for different things. So she got me this. Her name is Paige, and she's amazing. And I asked her, I said, how did you choose this particular, the Green Witches Oracle deck? I was like, how did you choose this? And she said, well, I just chose stuff that, you know, when I think of you, it's the energy that I feel. And so when I tell you that I am blessed, look at this one. It's the moon. It's the moon, isn't that pretty? I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So I got these bracelets from Paige. I got these cards from her too. This is Preserve, Security, Forethought, and Thrift. I love the artwork. It's adorable. It's my style. Everything. This one is Earth. Look at that. And the colors. I love these cards so much. I get very attached to things that people get me. So she got me that, and I absolutely love it. And then she got me a mushroom keychain. I am actually very big into mushrooms. I've become even bigger into mushrooms over time, and I don't know what that is. I think it's because I found out that mushrooms are actually really good for your brain. They're really good for your health and stuff like that. So I got that. But I guess more there. And it's so beautiful. The artwork is so beautiful. I love it so much. And then she got me a card. It says happy birthday vibes. It's so pretty. And a heartfelt message was written in there. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna start tearing up again. So I got that from her, and she's amazing. She has been such a great and supportive person to my sister and then to me, and again, it's so nice in my 33rd year of life to have met such amazing people. And for you watching this right now, this is something that I want to share with you. The joy that comes from releasing and letting go of relationships that no longer serve you and that aren't doing anything for you. Some of us hold on to relationships with an iron fist because they're the only things we've ever known. Even if we're being mistreated or disrespected, or even if people are dismissing us or gaslighting us, we have a tendency to hold on to things because we don't think we deserve better. And I'm here to tell you, a lot of the time, you've got to make room for the better people. Some of you are holding on to people who are actively, their energy deters the good people from coming to you. Because think about it. How many people have you seen, 29 minutes and 29 seconds as I'm saying this, how many people have you seen who are friends with people and you're like, well, this person is very questionable. Like, they're very suspect, so I'm not hanging with them, and they hang very tight with this other person, so I'm going to just avoid the both of them. The whole guilty by association thing. It's so important for you, especially those of you who are in the same boat that I'm in, as far as feeling like you're starting over in your 30s. Don't hang on to people just because they've been there for so long. I'm telling you, I know it's scary to release old relationships. But I think what's scarier is holding on to things that make you small. Holding on to people who they're not excited to have you around. Having you around is cool, but they're not excited. They don't want, like, they don't yearn for you to be there. Like, they're okay with you being there. 30 minutes and 30 seconds as I say that. You owe it to yourself to be around people who want to be around you. And one of the ways you do that is you clear out your circle. And I know some of you who watch this don't have a lot of close friends. This is why that authenticity journey is so important. Because once you start living in your truth and you start showing up as your most authentic self, that is when you should be putting yourself out there. That's when you should hop on these Discords, these free Discord servers where there are people who have similar interests to you. Go find videos on YouTube that you're interested in and scroll down and see the people who are commenting on these videos. If you see similar comments, comment. You never know if you're on, TikTok or you're on Instagram or you're on Snapchat and you see, groups of people. Follow the groups. I'm telling you, I know it sounds cliche and I know it sounds hard, but when people told me, something that I discovered is that making friends as an adult is hard because when you're in school, everybody is at your disposal. Everybody is there because everybody has the same classes. You're on a campus that is specifically built for people to socialize. But a lot of us, when we graduate, like myself, or, when you're freshly out of a relationship and you're kind of by yourself, it's harder to make friends because you now have to go out of your way. You don't have people who are just there all the time. For me, I would start, one of the ways that I start small, because I am introverted. I know in these videos I seem very extroverted. I kind of, on the spectrum, I am an introvert that has extroverted tendencies, is what I like to say. And so what I started is I went and I looked specifically for, I took that medication. I took that sleep medication, so I'm trying to lock in. I can feel it's about to hit. It's gonna hit soon. So what I did was I started by just going online and finding content that I liked and finding groups online that interact with that content. You would be surprised at how many online free groups there are for you to join and be a part of. I am so big on community here. I'm so big on community, guys. I really do feel like community is something that a lot of people are missing out on, especially some men. It's so easy to only have like your partner, your girlfriend as your friend, and maybe the two dudes you talk to once every 6 months. But being a part of a community is so good for you. It's good for your soul. It's good for your soul. There's so many ways that you can interact with people. And online makes it easy. If you're living in a situation where you can't necessarily go out and go drink with people all the time, there are Discord groups that hop on calls, they hop on Zoom, some people even use Teams, and they hop on and they talk and they engage and they interact, So as you are connecting with your inner children, if you've watched any of my other videos, as you're connecting with your inner children and as you're being your most authentic self, start to reach out. Start to build your community of people. Because they're there for you. That love is there for you. That support is there for you. You don't have to keep waiting. You can reach out now. You can look for these people now. You'll be surprised how many people are out here looking for people who are like you. People who care. People who are loving. People who are authentic, empathetic, kind, love to laugh. People are looking for people like you every day. But everybody kind of has the same fear. It's like, how am I going to find these people? How am I going to lock in with them? Something that I have friends who do this. They will go to like coffee shops and they'll look at bulletin boards that are in coffee shops, and it'll tell you karaoke night on Saturday, game night on, Wednesday afternoon, and just go and you'll see all kinds of stuff and you can go and attend. A lot of game nights don't charge you to go there. A lot of coffee shops in particular, and bookstores. Check out Barnes & Noble. See the events page that they have. Eventbrite is an app. I knew people in Boston who they were always on Eventbrite. They downloaded the app and they was always out doing something, going somewhere, So that's something. My next gift I got from my friend Ro, and she is beautiful and amazing and just perfect in every way. And I got this gemstone tree from her, and it's so beautiful, and I specifically did not take off the bubble wrap and the paper yet because I didn't know where I was going to put it. Sorry that plastic's really loud. I wonder if I don't know if I can open this without scissors in here. Oh, I can. I am definitely going to take pictures of this stuff and have it on my Instagram page. So yeah, it is a gem tree. Fold out leaves like so, and you can shape it. So it's rose quartz. And what's really interesting about this gift that she got me is that I started feeling in November of last year that other people needed all of my rose quartz. So I had a rose quartz necklace and I gave that away. I had a rose quartz stone and I gave that away because the people who I gave them to, I just felt, ooh, my ears are popping. Ooh, dizzy. I felt to give them my rose quartz, and so I have not had any rose quartz in the longest time. But Ro got this for me, and it's a rose quartz tree. It's a little treelet, and I can bend the little branches to shape the tree, which I'm probably going to play around with this tomorrow and shape it in a way that speaks to my spirit. But yeah, isn't that pretty? It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much. Ro, if you watch this video, thank you so much. Thank you, my love. She is beautiful and amazing and talented. She's such a talented creator. It's crazy because I know some people who go to, Full Sail, because these are all people that I met through my sister. That's the other thing. You hang out with certain people and they are connectors and they connect you to good people. Appreciate those people. If you're an introvert, 38 minutes and 38 seconds as I say this, if you're an introvert and you have an extroverted friend and they be doing the most, they be trying to take you places, they be trying to connect you with people, appreciate them. Appreciate them. Because Lord knows I don't be out here doing this stuff on my own. I can literally feel the love coming off of this, y'all. It's going on my desk. I was like, I have no idea where to put this. I'm putting it literally like right there. It's the most important thing that's gonna go on my desk. So that's what she got me. And she had no idea that I gave all my rose quartz away. It's so beautiful. I had no idea when I went through my separation and I moved back in with my parents and I was crying bitter tears. I had no idea that I was going to attend Full Sail. I had no idea. That was not on my bingo card. I had no idea I was going to attend Full Sail, let alone get my master's degree at Full Sail, and then meet some of the most amazing women I have ever met at this school, who would help me bring in my 32nd birthday, like bring in my 32nd birthday month, and then on top of that, they don't treat me any different. I always had this weird thought that, like, I've always been oddly aware of how old I am in other spaces. So whenever I've been around, you know, like my siblings' friends, I've always felt really weird because as an oldest child, like, I didn't make a lot of my own friends. So my friends were always 3 years plus younger than me. So my sister is 10 years younger than me, so all of her friends are about 10 years younger than me. And yet they're so loving and they're accepting and they bring me in. And I was the only person talking about my age. I was the only person who was like, oh man, like, you know, it's weird because being 31, you know, I've been saying for so long, I was like, being 31, blah, 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 but nobody else cared. Nobody else cared. I was the only one who cared. So if you're watching this and you're in your 30s and like, I can't believe I'm 30, nobody cares. Nobody cares in the way that they think you being 30 is a bad thing. The people who do, are those really people you care about? Like, really? Like, are they people you care about? Because these young ladies that I know now make me feel, they all really do make me feel like I'm 18, 19 years old. Like, I feel so carefree. I feel like I'm having a good time. I feel like I can forget about all of the bullshit that happened to me in the past, and I can just be happy. And again, this is what happens when you clear room for people like this. And all of this happened because of my separation, because I decided to leave a relationship that was no longer serving me or the other person. If I was still in that relationship, I wouldn't have met these people. I don't know where I would be. Probably still unhappy. So that's the second gift that I got. So we'll set this over here. Beautimus. And then, oh, and she also gave me a card. And it's so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that gorgeous? And she wrote me a beautiful, heartfelt message that literally is just affirmation. So I'm going to read this like every morning and every night. I love this card so much. And then my friend Kristen. So I love crafts, I love crystals, I love all kinds of stuff. And Kristen got me this box with the Tree of Life on it. And it's wood. So that I may put various little knickknacks in it. These are all wonderful birthday gift ideas, by the way. I absolutely love it. I love the wood. I love the wood. I'm a big fan of the wood grain. I love it so much. And it smells amazing. I do be smelling my gifts, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And it's so beautiful. I was thinking, I was like, yeah, I need like a box for my like crystals and stuff, because my little shell, this little shell is getting so full. I'm running out of room. And I have this. And then she also gave me a beautiful card that says all the birthday feels. And I love the texture. You can't really see it on the camera, but I love the texture. It's super pretty. And I also got a heartfelt message to you. And I love these so much. I love these cards. I am feeling so grateful. And this, I believe, is why Spirit's been saying you need to get into the place of receiving. Because I I don't think it's just been, and I'm sorry if I started any sentences and did not finish them. I'm apologizing ahead of time. Or not ahead of time, kind of late. But I'm just really grateful. I'm feeling really good. Again, these women are incredible. These women are incredible. And I knew that good people were out here, right? And they're not, good people because they got me presents. It's the fact that they've been good people. I've fallen in love with these people. I've fallen in love with these friends. Excuse me. And then they do this, They give me these little gifts. I had to at least pop one. Sorry about the loud noises. But, sorry if I haven't finished any sentences or anything. I'm really on cloud 9 right now. But, if you had told me when I was 16, hey, so you are going to get married, and you are going to think that that's it. You're going to think that your life has this cap on it, where you will have succeeded, you will have hit all of your milestones, and you're just going to, live happily ever after. If you told me that that was going to happen, or no, what am I saying? Give me a second. No, if you told me that I was gonna get married, and if I went back and told myself right now, just hang in there. If I went back and told myself right now, listen, you're gonna get married, you're gonna think that this is all there is, but there's not. You're gonna go through this separation, you're gonna feel like you failed, you're gonna feel like 46 minutes and 46 seconds as I'm saying this, you're gonna feel like it's over. You're gonna feel like you're old, you're gonna feel like you're, all kinds of worn out, you're just not gonna know what to do with yourself. And that's when your life is going to begin. I would have laughed in your fucking face. I would have laughed because I really thought that I knew. I thought that I knew everything. I thought that I had it locked in. And by knowing everything and locked in, I really just mean that I thought I knew what was going to happen. I didn't expect to make it places that I've made it. I didn't expect to keep going. So every day that I wake up now and I'm like, wow, I'm another year older and I'm still here. And I'm grateful that I'm still here. And then I think to myself, wow, I've kind of grown past all the ages where I had these milestones in my mind that I was supposed to reach. And now I'm kind of excited to be 32 because I'm this is amazing. I can do anything I want to, and I am doing everything that I want to. So, I know I was kind of all over the place in this video as far as kind of just reflecting, but I do want to leave you all with my final thoughts as I kind of hold my things. my beautiful things. You're not really starting over. If you're watching this video at this point, this is definitely for you because most people wouldn't hang in there this long. You're not actually starting over. What you're doing is you have now entered a new book. It's not a new chapter. 48 minutes and 48 seconds as I say this. It is an entirely new book. If you've experienced a serious catalyst moment already, because I talked yesterday in my video about a catalyst moment, and I feel like if you're watching this, you have already experienced a pretty massive catalyst moment, and you might be feeling I don't know how I'm going to pick myself back up. But the thing is that you will. I don't know how you will, but you'll do it. You know why? Because it's what we're meant to do. You have a strong spirit. You have an incredibly strong spirit. And it wants to keep going. And it knows that there is so much good left for you to experience. The thing about hitting rock bottom in a lot of instances, is there's only one way to go, and it's up. Having my separation, I was like, it can't get, like what now? Being single was the worst it could get. For me personally. It's always been being solo and being single. And now I'm actually comfortable being single. So this soulmate journey is far less stressful than it probably would have been back in the day, because now I've worked on knowing what I deserve in a relationship. And I feel like that's what a lot of you are in the process of doing. You're figuring out your self-worth. You're figuring out what you deserve. You're figuring out your boundaries. You're doing a lot of, ooh, yeah, that medication is starting to hit. So my thoughts are even more jumbled than they were before. Oh, what was I going to say? You are showing up in more authentic ways. And this is how I think your 2025, I think starting this way, 50 minutes and 50 seconds as I say this, starting your 2025 or 2025, being here in 2025, showing up the way you're showing up now, it's making all the difference. It's going to continue to make all the difference. Enjoy this. Enjoy every day, even if you've got some fuck shit going on. Enjoy where you're at every day. Love on yourself. Be compassionate with yourself when you make mistakes, because this too shall pass. And when it does, you're going to be stronger for it. You're going to be moving forward. You're going to be moving upwards, because that's where you got to go. That's where you've got to go. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to hear as y'all are moving through and as you're doing things. Because again, I post these videos and I'm not taking them down. So somebody at some point is going to see this video and might watch it through and might have something of success that they want to share with the class, if you will. I love this so much. I kind of want for the rest of this month to show this instead of the mobile. So I think I will. I think we're going to switch to this at the beginning of my videos. Our rose quartz tree. I actually have a tattoo on this arm of a weeping willow. And the roots go all the way down. I love trees. Oh, she's okay. But yeah, man, you're not starting over. You're simply starting a new book. Because starting over would be that you go back with the exact same knowledge you had before and none of the experience that you now have. So it's not really possible for you to be starting all the way over. Being in a new and a different relationship after leaving an old one, a long-term older relationship, you're not really starting over with somebody. You're starting differently. Because starting from the beginning would mean that you are doing it in a way that you did it exactly before, but you're not. You're going into new relationships. You're about to go into your soulmate relationships with better knowledge of yourself, with better knowledge of what you want, with more questions, with more understanding, hopefully with more patience, more flexibility. It's a new portion of your journey. And I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you guys. Again, I apologize for my mind being all over the place. I might watch this back and find that it's not all over the place, but for now, it kind of feels like my brain is just like, I'm still riding on the high of today's events, if I'm being honest. We watched Underworld with Kate Beckinsale and Bill, I think it's Bill Nye, the actor, and Michael Sheen. That first Underworld, amazing movie, fantastic. I love it so much. I love that movie. If you haven't seen it, you should go see it. It's so good. I love vampires and werewolves. I'm a big vampires and werewolves person. Twilight is interesting, but it's definitely not like one of the ranked movies that concerns vampires and werewolves. Underworld is definitely my top. It's like my top movie that has both of those. And now Blade. I recently watched the Blade movies, and the first Blade movie eats so hard, bro. Like, it's just so good. Like, that scene where, you know, you're in that rave for the first time, it's like, and the music's going off. It's so good. 54 minutes and 54 seconds, so I don't know who needs to go watch that, but you need to go watch the first Blade with Wesley Snipes. It's very good. But yeah, I'm still riding the high of how good today was, and it's crazy because ordinarily, like, I think some people might be like, that wasn't a lot that you did today. It was, though. Like, energetically, I was at peace today. My sister made sure I didn't have to think. And we were gonna go to the restaurant to get pho. But then beautiful Kristen was like, so, Yasha, would you like to order in? And I was like, what? And she's like, would you like to order in instead of us, like, putting our clothes back on and going out? Like, do you just want to chill here? And I was like, when do you want to get married? Like, I was so happy. I was so happy and so at peace. 55 minutes and 55 seconds. So I have a feeling that you and me are moving into an area of our lives where peace is a priority. Peace has to be a priority, my love. Like, how badly do you want to be at peace? I think for me, I believe my spirit came back here to laugh, like a lot, to joke and laugh a lot, to experience things, and also to be at peace. I believe this is one of the reasons I came back. My spirit. And so when I do things now, that is a focus. And oftentimes I forget those focuses. And when I forget those focuses, that's when I get sick. That's when I'm stressed. That's when I start dealing with anxiety. That's when I start dealing with depressive episodes. That's when things get rough. My dad asked me a question a long time ago, and I think this is what I'm going to leave you all with, and I'm going to call it because I actually need to potentially get up tomorrow and help maybe go pick up my dad from an appointment that he has tomorrow. But what are 3 ingredients that you think you can do that will be good for you and will bring you peace every day? Excuse me. 3 ingredients for your life. I'll give you an example. My 3 ingredients for the longest time were minding my business, getting my water in, and it was one other. I think it was living in the moment. And when he first asked, what are the 3 ingredients to your life that will just, like, it'll make you feel good, it'll make you feel fulfilled, I was like, what do you mean? And what he was asking was, if you could boil everything down into 3 things that you can do every day that will help you lock into feeling good and being at peace, then it's simple. You don't have to remember all of these rules and regulations for your life. You can literally boil it down to 3 ingredients. And for me, getting enough water in every day made my body feel good. It really did. And it does when I do it. I'm not always good at it, but you know, these are more goals. These are more things that we do to make ourselves feel better, not like hard, rules. Minding my business is a big one. Because I have a tendency, as an oldest child, I have a tendency to be like, oh, well, as an oldest Black woman, raised also by a West Indian family. I have to make those specifications. I was always very like, it's my job to take care of everybody, so I was always in everybody else's business. But it's not until I started minding my own that I started feeling more at peace, because I wasn't as stressed, because I realized I didn't have to run everybody else's shit. I could just run my own shit. And then, what was it? Getting my water in, minding my business, and staying in the now. That's a big one. It's part of the reason I live every day just that day. I don't think about anything else. I try not to if I can. Like, there are moments where my mom will be like, okay, well, I have all these plans, and I'm like, okay, cool, thank you for telling me. I'll put it in my calendar so that I know the morning of, or maybe if I want to check the day before. But for the most part, I am living every day that I'm in. and it helps decrease the amount of stress that I've been experiencing in the past. Again, even though I have my little moments where I'd be recording these videos to you guys and I'd be like, sadness, for the most part, I am so much happier than I've been. So much happier. So much happier. Life is amazing. Well, I think that's all I have for you guys this evening. Again, thank you for being here for another ramble and yap session with me. I'm feeling so much better, and I remember telling y'all that my spiritual team was like, hey yo, do not try on your other wigs that you got for your birthday. Don't start trying to make content or do anything until after you feel better. So I'm very, very excited that I'm going to be able to get going on some stuff, you know, maybe within the next 2 or 3 days. But again, as always, I'll, you know, let you guys know when things are posted, and I'm just really excited. So thank you to those of you who are new here, and thank you for subscribing, and thank you for your likes, thank you for your comments. You never have to do those things, but I appreciate them anyways, because I enjoy when you guys engage, you know, my content, because then I can engage with you. Take care of yourself, love on yourself, please, 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 please love on yourself. You deserve it. Be compassionate with yourself, you know, and I will holler at y'all tomorrow night, I think. Yeah. Mwah. Much love to you guys. Hopefully tomorrow night's video will be a bit more like cohesive, because even though these are unscripted, I try to, like, when I talk about things, I try to like finish topic thoughts, but I just have a feeling I didn't finish thoughts in this video. I might have, I don't know, I might watch back and it was fine, but I just had a really good day, and I got to spend time with some really cool people, and I'm just feeling really grateful. But anyways, I love you all. Mwah. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and I will holler at y'all. Good night. Bye.